Hey guys! In today's lesson, you're going to be comparing fractions and percents in real-life word problems. Let's jump right in. It says, last week, 8% of the shirts sold at Vince's boutique were black. In comparison, 9/10 of the shirts sold at Shirts and More were black. Which store sold a greater percentage of black shirts? Okay, I'm going to go through and underline the information that I need. 8% of the shirts sold at Vince's boutique were black, and 9/10 of the shirts sold at Shirts and More were black. Okay, so you know that 9/10 is equal to what percent? 9/10, you would just need to add the 0. So it's 90%. So 90% is more. So that was Shirts and More. Right, this next one says, according to sales statistics at a local newspaper and a local magazine, 68% of the newspaper's new subscribers renewed their subscriptions, compared to 4/5 of the magazine's new subscribers. Which publication had a greater percentage of new subscribers renew their subscriptions? Okay, you would want to go back and reread, but for time's sake, I'm going to just go through and underline for you. So we had 68% of the newspaper's subscribers and 4/5 of the magazine's subscribers. We want to know which one was greater. Okay, 4/5. You might have started memorizing these from the last time. We're multiplying by 2 on the bottom. So we multiply by 2 on the top. And then to change it to a percent, for our minds, you can think that's 80% because it's 80 out of 100. So 80% was for the magazines, so that is greater, like the question asked us. Okay, this question says, during study hall, Katie finished 1/5 of the problem from her math homework. Pamela did 44% of the problems from her math homework. Who did the greater percentage of her math problems? So 1/5, we're going to multiply by 2. So that's 20%. And that was for Katie. So it looks like Pamela had the greater percent. A supermarket found that 48% of the customers bought vegetables and 1/2 of the customers bought fruit. Which percentage was made by a which purchase was made by a greater percentage of customers? Okay, 1/2 is equal to 50%. That's one you should just know. So that means that the fruit was the greater percentage. I'm going to skip a level. All right, during study hall, Wendy finished 58% of the problems. That was for Wendy. And they're from her math homework. Sarah did 1/4 of the problems from her math homework. 1/4 for Sarah. Who did the greater percentage of her math problems? This is very similar to our other problem, isn't it? 1/4, remember quarters. How many quarters are in $1? Okay, So 4 quarters in a dollar, that means I have to multiply by 25. And then 1 times 25 is 25. You should probably know that 25 is 1/4. So that's 25%. I'm going to show you that another way. So if we have 1 divided by 4, you guys remember what to do? So you go ahead and divide it out like a decimal. And then you keep going. Now what do I have to do? I have to move the decimal 2 times to the right, so it's 25% for Sarah, and it's 58% for Wendy. So Wendy has the greater amount of percentage of problems. Okay, Christine and Danella are trying to finish their math homework before their favorite TV show starts. Has anybody ever tried that? Christine finishes 15% of her problems. Daniela finishes 5/6 of her problems. Who finishes a greater percentage of her problems in time? Okay, 5/6 is not one that is going to be as easy to just convert into a 10 or 100. You can probably look at that and know that's pretty close to 1 whole. And if it's close to 1 whole, that's going to be greater than 15%. But let's double check ourselves first. So, let me erase this so that it's out of my way. So, we have 5 divided by 6. So I put my decimal. 6 goes into 50 8 times. 8 times 6 is 48. Bring my 0 down. 6 goes into 20. Do you know how many times? 3 times. And it's going to keep repeating. Do you guys remember how to do the repeating sign? You put a line over it. And that means that 3 is going to keep repeating. So that would round to 83%. That's a whole lot more than that 15%, isn't it? So it did ask us for the greater number. Okay, this one is saying 5/7 and 57%. Let's read it. Last month, Kenny finished 57% of his to-do list items, while Jacob completed 5/7 of his to-do list items. Who finished a greater percentage of his to-do list last month? So 5 divided by 7. This one I'm changing to a decimal, then to a percent. So it cannot go into 5, so I add my 0. 7 times what is close to 50? 7 times 6 is 42. Is that going to work? I have 8 left. Nope, that doesn't work. What about 7 times 7? 49. I know that some of you get a little stuck when you subtract and the number is bigger than the divisor. So I wanted to remind you what to do. You have to go back and fix this number. Okay, so it's 1 And then I have to bring down another 0. 7 goes into 10 one time. And there's 3 left over. This doesn't look like it's going to end. And I bet I can just stop here because I already have the main part and I can see that that is far bigger than the 57%. So with a decimal here, and I'm going to move it 2 times. And now it's 71% for Jacob. Okay, another one similar. Yesterday, 59% of the drivers at Preston's taxi service worked. At Nina's Taxi Express, 5/7 of the drivers worked. Which taxi service had the greatest percentage? So 4 divided by 9. Okay, I need to do my decimal. 9 goes into 40 how many times? It goes in 4 times. 4 times 9 is 36. I subtract, I can borrow, but you probably know 36 and 40 are 4 apart. I get a 0, I bring it down. 9 goes into 40 4 times. Oh, look, it's going to keep repeating. So it's 44. I moved my decimal. 44% is Nina. So it looks like the one with the greater is Preston. Alright, last night, 60% of the ice cream cones sold at Debbie's Cool Treats were chocolate. Across the street, 23/24 of the ice cream cones sold at Vondra's Desserts were chocolate. Which store sold a greater percentage of chocolate ice cream cones? This one, guys, I'm going to be super honest. You don't really need to work it out. That is 1 away from 100%. And the pieces would be so small if you're thinking about fractions, if they're split into 24 pieces. But you could work it out. I'm going to go ahead and choose that one as the greatest. So that one is Vondra's. All right. A lot of these, like this, where you have 2%. Oh, there's my mouse. I was lost. All right. 2% and then 13/20. Those are pretty obvious because it's 20 pieces and you have 13 of them. That's more than 2%. But you can work them out, of course, and you should if they're close. Okay, I am almost out of time, guys, so we're going to go ahead and just say that it is Tisha, and I will talk to you guys later, all right? And have a good day.